Many thanks, Jess. Indeed, the Lake Region Economic Bloc was an idea that was adopted by 14 counties that are strategically, geographically aligned, maybe to improve on the issues in regard to the Vision 2030, and apart from that, also achieve the Agenda 4 of the country. But what has happened, and you have already noted that there was a plan to come up with a bank, and every county was supposed to contribute 200 million shillings each, up to a total of 2.8 million if all the 14 counties had agreed and contributed. But so far we are being notified that at least 3 counties have contributed the amount of money. But that is not a big deal. The main issue is that a number of lobby groups and even individuals and even politicians have come to oppose this Lake Region Economic Bloc here in Kakamega County, in Nandi County, in Trans Nzoia County, and even as far as in Kisumu County. But what we want to do, because a lobby group has already gone to court here in Kakamega County, especially yesterday, to call on the court to stop the process of continuation of this economic bloc. Also, we want to speak to the members of County Assembly, because when the motion in regard to this economic bloc was tabled in Kakamega County Assembly, they passed it in our record-breaking 1 hour's time. We want to speak to them. Did they know what they were passing? What is their opinion currently because of the challenges that they are facing? Let me speak to one member of County Assembly, Farouk Machanja. You were there when the motion was tabled in Parliament. You know what is happening currently, a lot of challenges. Maybe what was your take, and did you explain or discuss it in details during that time?
Yes, my name is Farouk Machanja, representing Isoka Southward. Indeed, I was in the assembly when this motion came and passed in record time, as you say. But I, as a person, and a few others, especially from the minority, we were opposed to the Lake Region Economic Bloc for a number of reasons. But before I even come to the reasons, let me explain how it went through so fast. You know, the first problem is that in most assemblies, we've got governor-friendly speakers. So they will ensure that whatever the governor wants will sail through. This is the problem that we got in Kakamega. I even remember some members wanted to discuss and even object to this bill, but they were told that you cannot even change a clause in that bill or even a full stop. So this is how it managed to just sail through. But let me come back to why we were objecting to this bill, and I still stand to be corrected. In fact, I applaud the citizens who've gone to court. One, right now in Kakamega, we cannot even adequately finance our own development programs, because we are not getting enough allocation from the national government. At the same time, it will not be wise to also take up a very ambitious project like the Lake Region Economic Bloc, because that also requires us to fund it. The other thing is that there is no public participation which has been undertaken to ensure that we carry the people along in order to ensure this project's success. So you find that in this case, a few people have sat down and they are trying to rush it through for personal interests, I don't know. But there are some interests which they are not making public. So with me, I'm actually opposed to this Lake Region Economic Bloc. And I'm not surprised. The other time we went to Bomet, and you see we've got very tough questions to ask before we even pass or go along with this project. And a number of counties are actually pulling out of this thing. I saw that in Bomet, especially the Rift Valley counties. They are not very warm to this idea.
Why do you think they are pulling out?
Because of many factors. You see, when people are given that leeway to actually look deep into what this project will entail, some say that no, it's not the right time. Others say that we need more time to look into it. And again, who is going to finance this Lake Region Economic Bloc? These are some of the things we need to look into. So I wouldn't like us to engage public funds into something, and then tomorrow we get obstacles that public funds will be lost. So let's actually interrogate it fully before we engage into it.
We have seen the members of public, they are the ones who are resilient on maybe trying to oppose and finding a way forward before the completion of the whole process into implementation of the Lake Region Economic Bloc. But politicians, you being one of them, you have seemed to be so silent. Maybe what is happening within all these counties that it has to take a common mwananchi to go to court to stop it?
No, Willie, I'm not silent on this, and a number of MCAs are not silent because I've actually been on record opposing it on the floor of the assembly. And even today in the afternoon, it's also coming back to the assembly because we need to pass the report that happened in Bomet on the same issue. My voice will be very loud that I'm opposing it because of A, B, C, D. So it's not that politicians are silent. But again, you see, they say that democracy means the minority will have their say, the majority will have their way. So when it boils down to numbers, you'll find that the majority who are actually on the ODM side, aside that the governor of Kakamega comes from, aside that the chairman of the Lake Region Economic Bloc, Mr. Oparanya, comes from, of course, they'll ensure that their master gets their way, or rather gets his way. We have
seen Nandi County, it seems that they will pull out. We have seen Trans Nzoia showing interest to pull out. We have seen troubles even within the other counties in Western Bungoma, Busia. They have not contributed their 200 million shillings. Do you think this idea will see the light of tomorrow?
Now, the question is, we were supposed to start off with 2.8 billion shillings just for one project within the Lake Region Economic Bloc ambition. Just one project. This is the bank, setting up of a bank. That was supposed to take 2.8 billion. Now, if these other counties are pulling out, if other counties who are still in this block, but they are not meeting their requirements, how are we going to come up with the 2.8 billion? Does it mean that now we need to revise our ambitions? That's one point. And does it also mean that since others are pulling out, and a number of them are going to pull out, a very big lot?
As we wind up, we have seen also the members of public concerned about, is there an oversight body that has been put in place to oversee the day-to-day activities of this Lake Region Basin?
Now, the oversight body is actually, like when I talk about the assemblies, it's the members of county assemblies. But most of them actually, as I've stated, they've been manipulated, and even they will vote the way the governor wants. But I'm very pleased that the civil society is coming up. And I will also move away from the assembly and take it also to the public so that we ensure this thing fails until the correct answers are given to the questions.
Thank you so much. Farouk Machanja is a member of County Assembly here in Kakamega, trying to give us a way forward in regard to the troubles that seem now to be rocking in the famous Lake Region Economic Bloc that we have seen a number of lobby groups, and even individuals go to court to stop it. And we have seen a number of counties show their interest that they might be pulling out from this in meantime. But we'll be keeping an eye to see maybe the way forward. We are still waiting for the governor to return because he's not within the country, maybe to address some of the key issues, Jesse.